I can make a very convincing argument that China is responsible for about half of the money laundering in the world every year. As this we know is orchestrated from direct orders from the CCP, because their intelligence organs, their military are involved with a lot of this. There is absolutely no doubt that that's true. Call them out and tell the world what they are. They are a ongoing criminal enterprise operating as a state.
But the People's Republic of China also has a growing role in transnational crime and money laundering, and most people aren't aware of that. I looked at what I consider perhaps the top 12 transnational crimes in the world, and in almost every one, with one possible exception, China leads the world. And they are counterfeit goods, narcotics, intellectual property rights violation, human trafficking, forced labor, wildlife trafficking, illegal logging, illegal fishing, illicit tobacco, trade fraud, arms trafficking, WMD proliferation, organ harvesting, and corruption. Okay, those are my top 12. The next thing I did is I total up China's involvement in all of these, as I call it CCP Inc., Chinese actors, their involvement in all this. And from my anti-money laundering perspective, I really worked to try to get a dollar value to attach to this criminal activity. And the number that I came up with citing expert is over $2 trillion a year. $2 trillion a year. CCP Inc. is responsible for almost half, or perhaps more than half, of the money laundering in the year as measured by specified unlawful activities. The next thing I did was to look at what I call Chinese-centric money laundering methodologies, things like flying money or Chinese underground banking systems, capital flight, gaming, real estate, offshores, this type of thing. And then I also talked about what I call Chinese-centric enablers, things like organized crime, influence operations, espionage, this type of thing. You add it all together, plus I talk a great deal about corruption and their growing overseas presence in the Belt and Road Initiative, et cetera, et cetera. When you add it all together, Steve, honestly, I went into this with what I wanted to think was an open mind. I was just trying to develop probable cause, if you will, to make a case. And the totality of what they're doing is absolutely overwhelming. It's just shocking. And I've been around the world. I mean, I've been around the block. I'm not a naive guy, but what I found absolutely floored.
How much money do you think is involved in the drug smuggling business in Southeast Asia? It was about $500 billion a year at the time. What does $500 billion mean to the world? $500 billion can change the world. Afghanistan, that the United States has been unable to handle for so many years, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, the entire Eastern Europe to East Asia, and across Xinjiang. From Afghanistan to Dashiwuko, which is the original Silk Road, directly to Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan. From Russia into Latvia, Lithuania, then to Europe, using drug smuggling business to control all the countries by the side of the entire Mekong River. The second thing is human trafficking. Then there is gambling and money laundering. The whole area, including the west, north, and southern corridors connected to the China border, have all been controlled by Mengjianju. Can check from Turkey, the Black Sea, the Dead Sea, all the way to Azerbaijan, and several nearby oil and gas countries, and then to Belarus, Russia, Afghanistan, Xinjiang, and Iran. The size of this kingdom is beyond people's imagination.